Hey everyone, welcome back to a YouTube channel of ServerAvatar. I hope you all are doing well. Today marks a fantastic day as a ServerAvatar has officially launched its open source software called Sandbox. Are you tired of spending hours setting up a temporary WordPress site just to showcase a quick demos or perform a short-term test? What if I told you there is an app that creates a disposable WordPress environment instantly? Yes, that's it. Meet a Sandbox by ServerAvatar, an amazing open source tool designed just for developers, designers, and digital agencies. In this tutorial, we will show you how easy it is to launch and host a Sandbox on your own server using a ServerAvatar. Are you guys ready? Let's dive right in. First, let me briefly cover what Sandbox is and why it is incredibly useful. Sandbox allows you to instantly create a disposable WordPress site perfect for a rapid test, client demos, and short-term project. No more waiting. Your throwaway site is ready under 30 seconds. Sites are automatically destroyed themselves after 24 hours, or you can manually delete them anytime you choose. Easily share a disposable website links with your clients, colleagues, and friends without any tedious setup. Each site is completely secure and isolated with a built-in SSL certificate by default. Sandbox gives you the complete freedom because Sandbox is open source. It's a fully self-hosted, offering a maximum control, privacy, and customization option. So you love the idea, right? And you want it right now. I know that. Let's now see step by step how we can set up and host a Sandbox easily and quickly using a ServerAvatar. Before going ahead, let me show you the Sandbox. How can you work with a Sandbox? Here it has been deployed on a sandbox.serveravatar.com. If you don't want to host it on your own web servers, you can just simply visit a sandbox.serveravatar.com and you can create a WordPress site easily from here. Just here your work is to provide a subdomain name. Suppose I want to give a subdomain name as WP testing. If you require the site information, you can click here, and if you want a reminder before deleting the site, then you can enter here your email address and just click on agree with the terms and condition and privacy policy and click on create a throwaway site. Within a 30 seconds, it will host your WordPress site so you can use. So this is the power of Sandbox, that it will create your site within a 30 seconds for a WordPress, and you can use it for the temporary use. See, here your site has been created. Here you can see all the site information, your domain name, just check it has been working or not. So yes, you can see your temporary site has been just hosted. So here you don't have to enter anything. Here you can get a DNS records, database credentials, with the PHP settings, what is the PHP version, memory limit, all the stuff you will get here. You will also get a auto deleter timer here. After this 23 hours and 59 minutes it will get deleted. And if you want a WordPress admin ID passwords, you can get it from here. So this is the easiest way to host a WordPress site by the use of Sandbox. If you want to test any plugins, if you want to give any live demo to your customers, then you can use this. Yes, now let's move ahead by hosting this. So if you want to host this Sandbox on your server and if you want to customize this complete Sandbox environment, then you can host it on your own server. To host it on your server, just click on a view on GitHub. Here you can see the GitHub repositories. So in a GitHub repositories, they have mentioned that Sandbox is an open source platform for creating a self-destructing WordPress site. They have mentioned the key features. What are the key features? Like instant deployment, self-destructing, fully secured, shareable, email notification, etc. Here are some prerequisites for the installing the Sandbox on your own server. Here prerequisites are PHP 8.1 or higher, Composer is required, MySQL 5.7 version or MariaDB 10.3 plus version. Node.js and NPM is required, a ServerAvatar account with a API access, and Cloudflare account with a API access. These are the prerequisites for the hosting a Sandbox on your server. One of the main prerequisites for hosting a Sandbox on your server is you require two servers to host this Sandbox on your server. Why two servers? So two servers is required. First server is for the hosting a Sandbox, and the second one is to hosting the sites that has been created by the Sandbox. So these are the prerequisites to hosting a Sandbox. So let's start by hosting it Sandbox on a server by use of a ServerAvatar. So if you are new to the ServerAvatar, then let me give you the brief about ServerAvatar. First step is to head over to the serveravatar.com, and ServerAvatar simplifies the server management by allowing you to instantly deploy and manage your application and website effortlessly. If you haven't already created your account, ServerAvatar offers you an initiative steps process taking only few minutes by click on a get started. If you already have an account, you can just click on login. I already have an account, so I will click on login. So first step is to connect a server. I've already connected a server. So let's start by connecting servers. For the connecting a server, you just need to create an server, and here you can connect a server according to your wish, according to the whatever server you are using, like Amazon Lightsail, DigitalOcean, Vultr, Linode, Hetzner, and custom if you are using any other servers apart from this. So this is the way you can connect a server. I will not go deep down into this. So I have a two server. One is for the Sandbox and another one is for the Sandbox WordPress site host. So let's go with Sandbox. In Sandbox, I will host a Sandbox application. So to host, first go to the application and click on a create an application. Here give a application name as a Sandbox, and here we have the options for the primary domain and the test domain. Select a primary domain. If you want to host a Sandbox on your own domain, then you can select a primary domain, and test domain is the temporary domain provided by the ServerAvatar for the testing purpose. So let me use a test domain. Here I will give a name as a Sandbox by ServerAvatar, and here you have the list of the temporary domain. I am gonna select as temp.site. Then select a method. Here we want to host a Sandbox by the method of Git, as we have the Git repository. Then select a service provider, as this repository is in a GitHub, so we are gonna select a GitHub. Once you have selected, here you have the repository types. This is the public repository. Sandbox is the public repository, so you can select a public, and then the clone HTTP URL. You can get this URL by visiting a GitHub, and on a repository you will find a button called as code, and here there is a HTTPS button, and here you can just copy it. Just copy and paste it out here. Branch name again also you can get it from the GitHub. Here there is the branch name. It is a main branch, so write it down here as a main branch. Then it is here we have to provide a deployment script. So let's check a deployment script on a Sandbox readme file. So in a readme file, here you can see all the dependencies and all the deployment script. So first is clone the repository. So it will be automatically done by the ServerAvatar. So let's move to the next step. Next step is to install a composer. So just copy this and paste it on a deployment script. Then next step is to install a front-end dependency and build assets. So just we will need to install a npm and create a build file for the front end. So just we will copy the command and paste it on a deployment script below a composer install command. Then we have the next step is to set up an environment variable. Here it will copy a .env example file to a .env, and it will generate a PHP key. So just copy this and again paste it below the npm run build command and click on a show advanced option. So this is the basically deployment script. We have more in a deployment script like editor env file. So it will be done once our application has been created and the migrations are also there. So all the steps will be done after once our application has been hosted or created. So in a advanced option, you have to select a system user. You can create a new user or choose from existing. I will create a new user. And here the PHP version. So PHP version they have mentioned as a 8.1 or higher. So we are selecting a 8.2 and custom web root. So custom web root will be the public. So basically where the index.html or the index.php file is located. So click on a create an application. So it will take again around 30 to 40 seconds. Just it has been hosted. So let's give some time because it has been installing the npm, so it will take time around 20 to 30 seconds. Okay, now let's again go with a GitHub readme file with the installation process. Now first we have to edit a .env file. In .env file we have to edit a database configurations, but till now we didn't created any database. So to create a database, you can create from a ServerAvatar panel on a same server, same Sandbox server. Just go to a database, click on a database, and here select a server. I am gonna select a Sandbox. Please make sure you will create a database on the same server in which you are hosting the Sandbox, and click on a create a database. Here give a database name as a Sandbox. And here if you want to set a custom username and password for the database, then you can select these options and provide a custom username and password. Right now I will go with a by default. And the connection preference, localhost everywhere or a specific IP address, I am gonna select a localhost as it is, and then I will click on a create a database. So we will get a database credentials. To check a database credentials, here the database is, in databases you will see the in actions you will see this manage user button. Click there icon, and here you will see the database name, username, passwords, connection preference. So just we will copy this and paste it into the .env file. So let me just duplicate this tab so it makes it easy to copy and paste. So first go to the application. In application select application Sandbox. Here you will see the file manager because we want to edit a .env file, so we have to go to the file manager, and in file manager you will find the code in a public HTML. Here you will not able to first see the .env file, so it is a hidden file, so enable this toggle button, and here you can see the .env file. Click on that file, and here we have to update the environment variable. To update the environment variable, we will start from the app environment, app-env. So we will make it as a production because we are going to use this Sandbox for the production purpose. And then as we go down, we can see on line number 23 the database connection. So here we are using the MySQL, so we will give a DB connection as a MySQL. If you are using the MariaDB, then you can give a MariaDB. Then DB host will be the same local host as we can see in a connection preference. So 127.0.0.1 is a local host. DB port will be the 3306 as MySQL run on a 3306 port. DB database, basically the database name. So if you want to check a database name, you can check from here. Database name is a Sandbox, so just we will copy and paste it out here. And database username, same way, here you can see the username, just copy it and paste it out here. And same for the password, copy and paste it out here. Okay, so we have provided the database credentials. As we move down, we will check all the variables has been provided properly. Here you can see the Redis passwords. So in ServerAvatar by default Redis is there. So and this application is also using a Redis. So to get a Redis password, you can just go to the settings, and in settings you can find out the Redis settings. In Redis setting there is a password for the Redis password. So just copy it and paste it out on Reddit password. So we did all the changes as mentioned here. So we will save that file, .env file, save changes, and click on yes, I am sure to save a changes. So we have completed the fourth step about updating env file. Now fifth step is a run a migration and see the database. To run a migrations, we need to log in into the servers. So to log in into the Sandbox servers, you can go to the dashboard and you can get the username and password to log in into your server. First you need to enable this toggle button for the SSH to allow SSH login. So let me just log in into the terminal. I will search for a terminal, and here I will give SSH, username, and hostname as a IP, and I will give yes. And here I have to enter a password. For the password I will copy it down from here and paste it here. Yes, I have been successfully logged in into the server, Sandbox server. Just I will ls to check that the repository is there. Yes, it is there. cd Sandbox to go to the repository, and here also cd public HTML. Yes. So now our next step is to run a migrations and see the data. So I will just to run a migration, I will copy this first command, paste it, and yes, I will give yes, sure I want to run this command. So our migration has been created, and then we have the options for the seeding. Not an option, we have to run this command. Yes. So our data has been seeded to the database. So now let's check it has been successfully hosted or deployed on a server. So let's go to the ServerAvatar. Here in our application you will see the primary domain. Click on a primary domain, and yes, here you can see our application Sandbox has been successfully deployed on a server by the use of ServerAvatar. See, this is how easy ServerAvatar makes to host any application. This is the example of a Sandbox, but if you are with any applications of a PHP and a Node.js, then ServerAvatar makes it really easy. Then let's register our first user. Register/register is the slug, and here provide the name Dharmil. Email address will be the dharmil@gmail.com, and password. So I will give a password and I will confirm the password, and I will register. So here you can see the admin site. See, there is the difference between the sandbox.serveravatar.com, that is the hosted by the ServerAvatar. You will not get any admin panel, but when you are hosting this Sandbox on your server, or you are using any open source Sandbox, then you can get a admin panel for the Sandbox. So we have successfully logged in into the Sandbox. Now next step is to configure a Sandbox so that we can easily create a WordPress site and it can be automatically deleted. So let's configure a domain with a Cloudflare. So configure a Cloudflare. In Cloudflare we have to integrate a Cloudflare. We require the zone ID, API key, domain name, SSL certificate, and the private key. So these are the basic requirement. So let's go to the Cloudflare. And let me log in into the Cloudflare. So go to the domain, and in a domain scroll down in a overview dashboard. You can see your API zone ID, then copy that and paste it out at here. Then you need to create a API key. For the API key, click on get your API token, and here click on a create a token and use the edit zone DNS template, and in this edit a zone resource, select a specific zone and select a domain and click on continue to summary and create a token. So here copy this and you have to paste it in your API key. Then domain name will be the cloud-based.fun, and the certificate, we need required a certificate. For the certificate we will go to the domain, and in domain here you will see the SSL and TLS. In SSL TLS, first you have to check the encryption. So encryption should be the full strict mode. So here we are using a full strict mode. So save this. Then we have to generate the certificates. For the certificates, go to the origin server and create a certificate. We are creating the certificates for the hostname, wildcard and the domain name. Then we will click on a create. So it will generate a origin certificate with a private key. Copy this origin certificate and paste it on a SSL certificate, and then again copy this private key and paste it on a private key on a Sandbox. Then our one more step is remaining is to, we have to in a Cloudflare we have to add a DNS record. We have to map a DNS with a IP. So let me make it as a cloud-based.fun and IP address of the server. So IP address of the server we can get it from the server avatar panel. So we will just copy the IP address and we will paste it. We will close the proxy and we will just save this. So it has been added. Now we will check it here that we will save the setting and we will test that it has been successfully integrated or not. So here you can see Cloudflare has been successfully integrated. Now ServerAvatar API URL. For the ServerAvatar API URL, you can give a API URL as the given here, https api.serveravatar.com, and here the API key. To get your API key, you can visit a ServerAvatar panel and on an account in a API access. If it is a disabled, then please enable it from here and then you will get your API key. Just copy and paste it out here. And here is to organization ID. To get your ServerAvatar organization ID, go to the team management, and in a team management in URL you can see the organization ID. This is my organization ID. So I will just paste it here and I will save this settings, and let's test it has been connected with the ServerAvatar or not. And here you can see it has been successfully integrated. Now we have the SMTP configuration. For the SMTP configuration we are using the mail trap. So we will search for the mail trap. We will log in into the mail trap. You can use according to your requirement and according to your use case, you can use any of the SMTP service provider. Then we will copy this host name and we will paste it out here. Then we require the SMTP port. For the SMTP port we need to select a 2525 and SMTP username. So we will get a username from the mail trap. We will just paste it and SMTP password. Okay, then we require the from name that we are gonna send from Sandbox, and email address dharmil@sandbox.com. And if you require the TLS encryption, then you can just enable this user TLS encryption. Currently I will not use this. Then save a setting and click on a send test mail. Yes, our SMTP has been configured with a Sandbox. So now let's start with creating a site. To create a site, first we need to add a servers. Go to the servers. Here we have already discussed that we will create a sites on another server, that is the Sandbox WordPress site. So we are gonna select that server and we will add it. So whatever the site has been created, that will be created on this server. Okay, now let's create a site. For creating a site, you can go to the sites and create your first site. Here give a name as a WP open source testing, and we will create a WordPress site. It will take around 30 seconds to create a WordPress site, so let's wait. And yes, here you can see our site has been successfully hosted on a server on domain wp open source testing.cloudbase.fun. So see how easy it is to host a Sandbox on your server. And if you want to work with a temporary WordPress sites, then Sandbox is the best tool for your life, for your professional use, for your personal use. Here you will get all the details regarding the database, WordPress admin details, DNS records, PHP settings, all the things you will get here. Here you also have the options for the public sharing. If you will enable this public sharing, here you can able to share in a publicly. Here you also have the options for manually delete it. To delete the site manually, you can click on a delete a sites, and here auto deleter is there. Now there is a one more step is remaining. Now you all are thinking how that it will be automatically deleted. So to automatically delete this site, we have to set a cron jobs that you can check it in a GitHub readme file. Here you can see that you have to set up a Laravel scheduler. So I will just copy this. First maybe I need to log in into the server. Yes, I need to log in into the server. I will use a SSH to log in into the server, and I will just copy this password and paste it out here. And then we need to add the cron jobs in a cron tab. So we will copy and paste this. We are gonna select Nano as our file editor, and then we are gonna paste this scheduler. So we will just paste it out here. So as you can see, it has been successfully pasted. Then save this file, and yes, it will automatically delete the WordPress site whenever it has been expired. So this is the level of the Sandbox that you can play. In a system settings, you also have the options for the default site deletion time. You can set up for 7 days, 1 month, according to your requirement. You can also allow the site creation from your home page. If you want to share with your team, then they can not able, if you want they are not able to access admin panel, then you can allow them to create a site from the home page also. And then you also allow a new user registration, and you can also disallow this. Let's try the first option, allow a site creation from home page. So let's check a home page that it has been allowed or not. Yes, here you can see it has been allowed. Here simply I will give my name as a subdomain. I will agree and create a throwaway site. So within a 30 seconds, it will be able to create a throwaway site. So as you have seen the power of Sandbox launched by the server avatar. So this is the sandbox that ServerAvatar has launched. So if you like this video and if you want a more tutorial like this, then please like, subscribe, comment, and please do not forget to press the bell icon button. Thank you.